I'm Paul Barnett. I'm back in North America for a short while. We're doing an update for the PC, but this is What Weekly with Meathead. Come and find out what we're happening with all our tank games. Beep, beep. You let me do the intro. That was very good of you.
I know.
We're going to start. We're going to start with Blitz.
We are. No, this is a little different.
No, we're going to start with Blitz. Now, it's on phone. It's on iPad. I don't play it like that.
I know. How do you play it, Paul?
I downloaded it off the Windows 10 store, and I downloaded it off Steam, and I play with mouse and keyboard, and I rail on people.
Such a terrible human being.
But the things I've learned, obviously smaller team sizes.
Yes.
And I don't play heavies. Mediums and lights. That's where I go. I have a great time on it. If you want a lot of fun, it's great. And because of the way they play, and I've got a keyboard and mouse, I murder 8 people.
Yeah, I would.
My win rate is great. Also, by the way, the fan events we were going to, we keep meeting blitzers.
Is that what you're calling them?
And
are we calling them blitzers?
Hey,
I would love a new nickname for that.
They are as passionate.
Oh, absolutely.
As all the other ones, which makes you really, really happy. So, and you can play like a lot of dads and kids play.
Oh yeah.
Which is really, really cool. But anyway, we've got stuff for Blitz. So we've got, I'd have called it an on-track.
Yes, I would call it an on-track.
But they don't. They call it.
I don't think, this is a note to me, they call it a cherry on top.
Cherry on top. Right.
I think that's what they call it.
And it's basically silver discounts, right?
It's credit discounts.
Silver discounts.
Silver only exists in console, man.
That's what you say.
But
so it's basically discounted on one line. It's the French heavy line.
Yes.
Not
AMX50B.
Yeah. So French heavy line is testing. The AMX 5100, the autoloader skill tank, the 5120, bit of a pain. But if you get to tier 10, which is the MX50B, it's the best autoloader heavy at tier 10 in the game.
Assuming you know how to play.
Yeah, it's got a high skill delta. Yeah. You need to know how to play it, but it's a great finisher. Reload's pretty good. Magazine's really nice. Super mobility. So I like that. I've got one of them.
And in addition to that, credit discounts on some UK and USA tanks.
Yeah, okay. Well, I like the USA tanks. UK tanks, you know, you've got to be careful. Cromwell, obviously fantastic. Heavy line, a little bit wobbly, but you know, we'll get there. And then crew training in Blitz, different.
Slightly different.
Different system.
That's really slightly different. It's pretty different.
It's like goes to like you have a crew and it applies to everything of all these stacking systems. So crew training is always a good thing to do. Premium time, that's the one thing I tell people to get.
Yes. On
any of our games, because if you're going to play and commit, premium time is the way to go.
Yeah, like you said, if you're going to be investing in the game.
And they got a times 3 weekend, right?
Yes.
Times 3 weekend. I'm glad that we have those for everyone. Moving on from Blitz to my other great love, Go Chicago, console version.
I'm terrible at console. I can't sit on a couch and play like this. Like this doesn't. This isn't me right here.
It's a couple of things about it. I play on the PlayStation, but if you're a PC tanker playing console, there's a setting where you can change the how to move the tank and put it on the triggers for the track movement.
What?
And it fixes the craziness of their system.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, you should try it. If you've been having trouble with it, it's the way to go. I love the console. It's always beautiful. It always has all my maps that were taken away from the PC version. The province is on there. Plus new maps I've never seen. They have all the.
Was it Scorpion Ridge or something like that? And Liberty Falls.
Yeah, they also have really cool looking tanks. Like they're fearless about putting crazy cool looking tanks in. And really good. And they have the Grill 15.
It's on track. It's coming down to the on track being over.
And obviously, you know, you take the Waffenträger, which was an unbalanced autoloader.
You remove the.
And instead, you make it a super high accurate, really fast firing, reloading.
Pain machine.
Death machine. Yeah, Grill 15.
Don't get hit by it.
I want to put the Waffenträger's mask back on it.
Really?
So you can see it. So I think that's good. And you got a guy called Unholy Moses?
Unholy Moses.
What's that?
So it's a shout out to Unholy Moses. They wanted to do better. They wanted to be better, which everybody should want to be. And he finished a month with 60% win rate and a 2.0 kill to death ratio, which is awesome.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah. And he also gave us some sage advice.
All right. What did he say?
He says, pay attention to your minimap.
Well, I approve of that. And on console, you have to press a button to make it go center screen, so learn how to do that.
Learn how to trade smartly with your shots.
Yeah,
so essentially, like if you and I are fighting.
Shot trading.
Yeah.
That sort of concept of when you should shoot, when you should wait, when, you know, if you see a tank shooting and you know it's reloading, sneak out, hit it a little bit. Like that.
Smart trading.
Yeah, smart trading. That's the way to go. Also, you know, learn the damage of your gun.
Yes. Learn your limitations of your tank.
Yeah, and then I noticed here he's really big on understand base capture, base management.
Defend your damn base.
Drives me crazy. If we could just get everyone to understand, how do you capture a base? How do you reset a base? How do you get back in time?
You had a nice thing that you
Yeah, about a year ago, I wrote it all out. I figured it all out, and we've never done it. We've never made it. It's on my list of things to do. We're probably going to do it in the videos we're going to do in August.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so Blitz, which I love, Console, which I love, Hello Again Chicago, doing great stuff. Now, the reason I'm over here we've rolled
PC.
we've rolled the update.
Yes, 918 is
And
live
it's
right
come
now,
to North America first as a live update,
which is awesome.
So I'm really
'Cause
super pleased.
Players
of.
are like, why is it never on?
Yeah,
NA
no,
first? Now it's on NA first.
It's come here. Trust me, all the other regions are now feeling the sort of distance pain and think, why aren't we special? So it's come to North America. It's addressing 3 core things. One was Matchmaker,
Oh yeah.
which is, has been the bane of everyone's life. The math behind the new Matchmaker is incredibly complicated. 2 things you should bear in mind. One, you're still going to be able to blame Matchmaker.
Who isn't? I just did this
Like
morning.
the first time you have a bad Matchmaker. But behind all that, what it's doing is it's trying to fix, how many high tier tanks are in, how many mid tier, how many low tier, and what the spread of the tanks are. And it's got some really, really interesting logic systems. Now, obviously, teething trouble. It's
Yes.
out live. We've got to figure it out. But it's a super, super robust system. And better yet, the designers over in Minsk can actually move the levers and make it do lots of interesting stuff. So the Matchmaker is really, really cool. Artillery.
I'm a big fan of the stun mechanic. As an artillery player myself, I can still do 2,000 to 4,000 damage with this update. And one of the real reasons is I like to annoy people. You know this. But the stun mechanic is perfect for that.
So tier 9 and 10 is a difficult tier and difficult to make money. And it's also the destination tier. And if you look at the way the combat mechanics work and normalization and caliber of shells and the rest of it, the mechanics actually start breaking down, like the size of guns we're talking about. And when artillery was entered into the game originally, it was there to stop people camping. And it actually does that pretty well in the lower tiers. But in the end tiers, there was some sort of madness going on in Matchmaker and that. So there was a much higher chance of you having artillery in tier 10 than there is in tier 8. There's about a 20% chance of an artillery player in tier 8. It's nearly 38% of tier 10.
Wow.
As it was slowing down the end game. So the changes are pretty dramatic. Reusable consumables.
Which I love. Again,
brand
those are
new.
fantastic.
And then moving them away from one-shot kill hits and moving them into this sort of like crowd control system, which takes some getting used to. We're still learning. We're still figuring out how to do it. And we also, to try and balance that out, brought in the tier 10 lights.
Yes.
Which is the third element.
Which I'm looking for the Sheridan, which you told me I should just keep an eye on it for a second.
So the Sheridan it's the one that's the closest to a light medium hybrid.
Which I'm terrible at mediums, but
And because of historical reasons, it's got a comedy gun, and which everyone keeps putting on it, which is really don't play with the comedy gun, play with the proper gun. Finding out how to slot the lights in to the gameplay is going to be tricky. We're still massaging that. Obviously, if you've been playing the mediums at tier 10, like the Leopard or the Backchat, you've been doing sort of semi-light work, and now you've got to get used to going back to doing your medium work.
it seems like every Leopard I find is doing nothing but damage to me.
Yeah, well, Leopard, you're usually spec for view range. That's how most people got them. Aren't you running a weekend to encourage people?
We are. So ×3 XP weekend, which is always great, especially if you're trying to get those light tanks. Again, I'm going to be grinding towards the Sheridan.
But we're very excited about having it here. You're going to see continual improvements of it. There's more updates coming. There's all sorts of really cool stuff that we can't talk about right now. But, I'm there every day, fiddling around with it, changing, talking in the design meetings, seeing where they're going. Slava Makarov looks after as the guiding light of where we're going. Thane, who looks after where tanks is going worldwide. It's just good to see a super hard-working team. And here we are in North America. Trying it out first, so it's cool.
It is cool. And speaking of which, leads us to our community question.
Oh right, yes. Don't you do this bit?
I do, but since you're the guest, would you like to?
So
address
we're
the
love getting feedback. North America is one of the most interesting regions in that it's very, very good at giving its feedback and giving it in a way that's actually constructive. So keep that up. In this case, blitzers or people who play console or people who play PC, can you give us feedback about your favorite parts of the updates? I mean, we sort of know the stuff that makes you angry. We want to know about the things that are making you happy so that we can do more of them. We can see, we didn't realize that was going to be important. We didn't realize that was the sort of thing that people respond to. So if you can give us that feedback and tell us the game and what it is, put it in the contents
comment section
below his hands. Don't you now have to do a gun thing?
With no grease screen, so this is pointless for Steven. Steven's going to have an easy week, not having to deal with.
Way to go, Stephen. This was weekly what?
This is number 8 or 7. I lost track.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming by.
I'll see everyone
on the battlefield
of all 3 games.
I'll see you on PC.